How's it going, everybody? I did get to connect some dots for y'all concerning the Antichrist and the Bible verses on the Friday Bible study. Hey, it's got 3 whole views from TS Daily Bible Studies. but
before the face.
but it really, it covers those Bible verses that talk about the Antichrist. There it goes. And then I get into some of the photos where we start connecting the dots, the 7 kings and how they've got him sliced into 7 there. And then he is the 8th is of the 7, all the Bible verses. And we get into other pictures, of course, of the, there's 6 there, 7th and the 8th. And that's what the Bible study was about, is the 7th and the 8th. The 8th is of the 7 because they are one of the same. That's the twin trumps. And because it's a body double switch, the death and alleged resurrection. So you see them with their Trump hair, and they literally, I've shown y'all before, where they lower out of the picture, like the towers have fallen. It's amazing what they show you. So let's get into Inception. And would you like to rate Inception? Oh, Inception, great movie. Let's just rate it that. Yeah, there we go. So Inception's URL 137. There's your 37. There's your 13. There's your 56. But it's 1375666. So there's a Christopher Nolan movie, finally, that has like a 666 in International Movie Database's URL. And that's got all the actors. Actors from The Dark Knight are in Inception. Wolf of Wall Street. Of course, Trump is the Wolf of Wall Street. Let's just look at it. Let's look at all the actors. Remember, it's 666 in the URL. This is one of his most special movies. So you got Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who played Robin in The Dark Knight Rises. You've got Tom Hardy, who played Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. And then you have Marion Cotillard, who played we got Michael Caine, who was in The Dark Knight Rises, all that. This Cillian Murphy guy, he played in The Dark Knight. Well, what in the world is this? I don't know. Is this not his site? Oh, that's the character's name. My fault. There he is. So he's the one playing Oppenheimer now in Christopher Nolan's new movie about the bomb. He was in 28 Days Later, Inception, and of course, The Dark Knight. Like I was telling you, he was Scarecrow. So they've got everybody in this movie. Called Inception. Elliot Page, who of course was Juno in the movie Juno, which is all about the goddess Juno. So it's quite the movie, this Inception, with the 666 in the URL. But Inception is 148 minutes long. 148 is Donald J. Trump. How much at the box office? 8368. 83, murder code 68 is the reversing of 86, which means it's the rising. And what is in the middle of 8368? The 36 is in the middle. 36 is the triangular number of 666. So everything is perfectly cryptically hidden. But the cool part of this 148 minutes, it's 2 hours, 28 minutes. There's your 228 coding. What's important about 228 coding, as it's 121, 1210? What's important about 228, 2 hours, 28 minutes? Well, that's our date. 1228 is 1228. So that's the first time I saw anything really connected to the 28th is Inception. the release date of Inception does give us R455 for the rising date. Because that's the 666. 4556 for the offing date. But really, since 666 is in Inception's URL at International Movie Database, then you really want to connect it to the rising date, which is 4558. And the 455, again, is Candy and I's first three digits combined. I was out with her daughter tonight. We had a great time. And her boyfriend. Went to 1961 restaurant in Lakeland. Very nice. But that's some big stuff there. What else? Did I have anything in prep? So, okay, there's Gimme Shelter. Shelter from the Storm song by Bob Dylan. Gimme Shelter by the Rolling Stones, and Riders on the Storm. And of course, Rain Man, which is all about Rihanna's song Umbrella, which is why she's our halftime at the Super Bowl. Well, there won't be a real Super Bowl. It's just telling you that she's under the umbrella in early February when World War III is taking place and the storm is taking place and Rain Man is at hand. The Antichrist is Rain Man. And which, you know, Eminem, Rain Man, the movie Rain Man, they've all sang about Rain Man. Everybody does. Find me a fence and she's in his bed. So Eminem did Rain Man. They're singing in the rain. Singing in the Rain. Gene Kelly. I'm singing in the rain, right? That's what all that's about. When the rain comes, that's the storm. And of course, the Mystery Babylonian world thinks they're going to be perfectly protected during the coming storm. It's pretty fascinating, isn't it? So yeah, Telling True 3, I showed y'all the Lucifer statue and how they had the archways and the gateway arch. And it's that constant female angel, which is not in the Bible. So it's very fascinating. What else did I have in my prep? The length of Inception. Oh, yeah, there's your 228. So 1228 is 1228. So that's the first time, and it's 808 at the end. It's 2 hours, 28 minutes, 8 seconds. So it's literally the 22 and the 88. If you move those numbers around, you literally have text to Trump 88022 in the Inception, which again in the URL is 1375666. It's really hard to make it up, isn't it? Yes, it is. The last is 251. Remember, it's 251 days. That 251 was on a license tag right at the beginning of the movie. Remember, the midpoint is 251 days in both directions to the previous and future total solar eclipse from August 12th. And, you know, it is Revelation 17:8 through 12, which is the passage that I did tonight concerning the seven kings of Mystery Babylon. It's Revelation 17:8 through 12, which if you look at that, it's 178 fused with the 812. Well, what's the 812? It's the midpoint, as it's 121:16. 121 fused with 216. But yeah, so there was a 251 on the tag So Inception seemed to be just blatant with our key numbers that we talk about here. Now, remember, the midpoint was 88 days in both directions for the lunar eclipses and 251 days for the solar eclipses. Well, my second wife, remember, she's 5'5", 244, times her first husband, 15768. Their first two digits, this is their marriage number. 8 is the single digit that never rotates, but two digits, 87. The next progression would be 88. I was her 88. Or take the first digit, 8, and double it for the second marriage would be 88. So I was her 88 two different ways. And she was my 52. So sticking with that point, the two total lunar eclipses were 88 in both directions. Well, look at my marriage numbers again. I'm 82362. My first wife was 62848, like we've just showed you in the previous video or two. She's 841964. 8 times 4 times 1964. She's 62848. And times me, well, my marriage number was 5, but 51 is my original marriage number, and it's literally 251 days in both directions to the total solar eclipses. And my second marriage to Candy, what's 5 times 5? It's 25, fused with the 51, 251. So the midpoint was literally about our marriage, the 251, the 88. That's our second marriage, which is what all this has been about. The divorce on Groundhog Day, so on and so forth. And who was I with at the day of the midpoint? Her daughter, who I was with tonight. Down, met her and her boyfriend down there on the 12th. After the war I had with my son's former wife, who passed away 17 days later. What does all of this have to do? Well, you go back. I'm 22 Groundhog Day, 455 days old on the 28th, which is all about that second marriage. Because my second wife and I come to the 455. We were divorced on the 22. And we've already shown you the anomaly. With me and my stepdaughter, or my stepdaughter's numbers that all point, who I had dinner with tonight, that all point to what's going to go down potentially 4 days from now, because this is my stepdaughter's number. She's got the 138 for Donald Trump, the 88 for Trump, and the 86ing up. Well, what's the 113 for? Oh, well, on the 28th, it's 113 days to the abomination of desolation, or at least the total solar eclipse. And 138 days from when Sirius the dog star rose and the double midpoint day. So it's all right there, which Joe Kane says, that's my birthday. I think he said it was January. I can't remember, but he said his birthday was 1-3. I can't remember. But if you add the 138 and the 113 in both directions now on the 28th, 138 days from when Sirius rose to December 28th, which, by the way, was her mom and I's first date, December 28th. And then 113 days later, it's a total of 251 days to the total solar. So everything just lines up for the Trump event taking place on the 28th. If it doesn't, then is that about something else? Maybe something else in my life. Just like the day of the midpoint, nothing happened except what I showed y'all, about 15 emails that day. A very hostile day between my son's former wife and myself. I got 2 or 3 hours sleep. I was so stressed out. It was the most stressful day of the year for me so far. I never put past anything Mystery Babylon's got coming for me. That the Lord, of course, would have ordained. But it's just fascinating. Could we be that close? I will tell you that tomorrow, the 24th, has more on our grid, and especially if you combine the 25th with the 24th, if you include both dates on the 25th, then it will fall into the 24th. What do I mean by that? Well, from one date to the next, if you include both dates, then the 25th is in play. And in their world, sometimes they include both dates and sometimes they don't. And this is just from the date adding without including both dates. That's everything that falls on the 24th. It's the biggest day that we have, the 24th, 25th combination. So could Trump go down on Christmas Eve? Of course he could. And 28th just could be about something totally different. More in my personal realm. But I can assure you, this 24th and 25th, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, palpable. I'm too tired. I'm in no condition to go through and read all these. But if you get to the 28th, it's not a lot at all, the 28th and the 29th. But it's high in quality. You got the inauguration day of George H. Walker Bush, which is what Donnie Darko was the backdrop of that election. Apollo on fire. Apollo, fire. The fire rises. Take shelter. Exactly. Take shelter release date. Donnie Darko director's cut. Oh, perfect. Princess Diana event. Okay. Include both dates. October 2nd, 1988, Donnie Darko date. Election day of 11/8/1988, which again was the semi-baked theme of Donnie Darko, the election. Funeral for a Friend, Brokeback Mountain. 28 days later, Penumbral Lunar. In 98, which 98th verse is the White Horse. The Jet, 1109, leaving Afghanistan, the fake balloon. World War Z, the movie Seven. Perfect. All of that connects to the 28th. Just these on the 29th is if you include both dates. Then you move to the 30th, October 26, 1985, when they first went 88 miles per hour. You're now going 88 miles per hour on the 30th. Trump announces Jerusalem as capital. Yep, perfect. That's where the abomination of desolation will be in 111 days. Zero dark 30. You better believe it's zero dark 30 when the book of Revelation's open. Revelation 12, event in the sky on 9/23/2017 is a 37-day progression. Nancy Pelosi's birthday, annular solar, New Year's Day at the new millennium 2000, total solar eclipse of April 20th, the abomination of desolation. The abomination of desolation is 111 days away from the 30th. It's a connection. And Mamma Mia, here we go again, which is 9/11, here we go again. Its premiere at Hammersmith Apollo. If you include both dates, this also falls into the rising day of the 30th. The Great Conjunction, total lunar on 2014, Fahrenheit 9/11, November 19th, partial lunar. Dog days are over, Florence and the Machine, Birdman, annular solar in 1961, and the condo collapse. That's it. All right, let's see if we got any comments up and running. All right, so no comments. Very good. All right, so that's really everything. I mean, so anything else I can think of? Let me pause. So Al Pacino, his birthday, 8285, 9925. Wow. That's Mayday's number, 9925. 992 months, 5 days. 301.99. If you include both dates, it switched to 302. Okay. Nothing earth-shattering there. You know, he's the devil and the devil's advocate. September 2nd, 1964, Keanu Reeves. So you do, if you go to the rising day, as the devil's advocate is the Antichrist, you do get your 33, 21,303. That's really about it, though. Nothing. You got your 18 with your 84. 18 is 6 plus 6 plus 6. 84 is 7 times 12, which is the church going through its cleansing, which is what the devil's advocate or the Antichrist does, cleanse the church. So Christopher Nolan to the event day, you do get your 19 for COVID number with 144,000, which that's kind of cool. That's like a good match that you get that 144,000 on the event day. That's really big. Oh, the 915 and the 915. Hang on a second. So Trump's election year of 2016, we do have the 2812 in canyonized combined number right there. 917 2812. So it is embedded in the 2016 number when Trump won the election. I was looking for a 2812 combination. And that's really the only place that happens. The year we met, we have a open 1227 right there. 1227. So that's an 11-year span. Not together, but you have a 1228 and 2010. Okay, that's about it. But that 2016, they're next to each other. Oh, look at the 2812, 2812. And what is the 812? It's the midpoint. And when Sirius rose, 812, August 12th. So the other numbers in that is 917 and then 757,248. Let's multiply those together and just see what we get. 917 times 757,248. Nothing really. Okay. But anyway, that's about it. That's about it. That's about it. That's it. That is it. All right. Love y'all.